So I wanted to say thanks everybody for coming. Thanks for the raid, Josh. So I've been doing some work on Macondo, which is the AI that's behind Woogles, the hasty bot and all that. And we're really trying to make like a bot that's awesome. It can sim, it can do inferences, it can do endgames, everything. So I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago on somebody's stream. It was on the Kingston stream. People are saying like, "Oh, I want a bot that can do inferences," or like they don't have bots that do inferences. So I was like, I'm literally working on that right now, like being like I was just totally lying because I wasn't working on it. And then somebody responded like, "Yeah, sure you are," or something like that. And I'm just like, man, I got called out. So then I spent like all of my free time yesterday working on this inference idea, and I was able to actually get something working that's pretty cool. So I just wanted to show you guys what I built here. Okay, so let's show you guys something. Okay, so this is Macondo, right? I know it looks kind of like, it doesn't look like Woogles yet, and we're going to make a cool UI for this. But the first rack I wanted to show you is this. Okay, so if I do AI play. Okay, let's say that you are a player of Scrabble. So now give me a word that actually it doesn't matter. Let's take a step back here. Let's set my rack to let's keep my rack as Eugenia. Now, if you're given this position, what can you infer from what the opponent capped? So you look at this, and we were talking about this yesterday, but you have like, if he had an A, he probably would have played WAP with an A, right? If he had an I, he probably would have played WHIP. If he had another E, he probably would have kept WEEP, WHEEP. If he had an O, he would have played WAP. If he had a U, he would have played WHOOP. If he had a W, he probably would have played WHEW. So you can like kind of go through the letters like that and realize that he likely is consonant heavy. Yeah, if he has an L, it's whelp, so not an L. So very simply, you just type in infer, and then it takes about 5 seconds, and it'll give you some. So you see my cores are working hard here. So here it tells you the letters that are most likely for it to have kept. So these are the letters that are like more than chance, right? So a lot of the time they have some of these letters. And then less than chance they have I, O, U, and then they definitely never have an E. The Y is because of WHY, right? Y. You can kind of like come up with a reason for all of these. Maybe chew here, although I don't know what since these are about as expected, there's not too much of a difference there. So if I look at the details, you can actually see the details here, like what percentage of the bag is E's, and then what percentage of racks had an E in there, what percentage of racks that we inferred. And you saw that in 5 seconds, we were actually able to infer 26,000 racks, and we considered 139,000. So this thing's really fast. If someone plays few, they have a Q. It's possible that they have a Q. Yeah, you could play few with a Q. It's worth enough points, right? But the really cool rack that I wanted to show you here, and it's going to be like a multi-part demo here. Let's look at a video. Let's look at a video over here. Okay, does this video show up? Let me take a look at I'm like paranoid now. So this is a game, Joel Sherman versus Nigel Richards, and it was played at the 2018 Nationals. So here, Joel Sherman's rack is AENSTUU. So he thinks for a little bit, and he's like, "What do you do here? You exchange both U's, right?" The guy on the left is the best Scrabble player to have ever lived, and I want to show you just what makes him so awesome. So, they're saying that he's going to that Joel Sherman's going to dump UU, and he does. He exchanges. So now let's watch. What does Nigel do? What do you guys think he should do in this position? He has AELNOQT and exchange, right? So a lot of people, and myself included, like QAT is obvious. So I think even Robin says it's obvious. Let's see if we can hear what she says here.
There we go. There goes the UU as expected, and we're going to get cat, obviously.
See, cat is obvious.
Makes it, I don't know if he makes it easy on us or himself by typically placing the tiles he's about to play on the left of his rack.
Well, okay, so you guys know, so I'm like kind of spoiling it for you guys, right? But like, I mean, if you're talking to like any Scrabble player, I'm telling you, like 99% of players are just gonna play cat and move on with their lives, right? Like even if your opponent just exchanged two, you're gonna play cat. Well, you wouldn't, but let's take a look. So he goes and he, as expected, he exchanges OQ. So he's putting them on the side, and he's like, nope, I'm gonna exchange. Never make a Q play for less than 26.
Never. Craig Beavers is playing Evans Clinchy, so that's
Fab nest.
Evans?
No, get out of here. Can somebody ban this person?
Here, I think, depending upon how things go, just because he's got so much spread on Jason.
Or I've been lately.
Thanks for the copy pasta. So anyway, he exchanged. Nobody seems to notice. And
It's pretty common.
come on, commentators,
At least
say something.
in the world I come from.
He passed? He didn't play cat?
He passed. Anyway, I like the shriek.
Speaking in your ears, like.
Anyway, that's not an easy move to make, right? So now let's start a new game. Let's pretend that we are Joel and Nigel. Okay, so I'm gonna be IANSTUU, and we're gonna do a generate, and we're gonna commit the first play. And now we're Nigel, and we have AEL and OQT. Right, so you generate some plays, you get caught. Exchange OQ is 15 equity behind. So people who say exchange OQ is obvious, like I don't think it's obvious, right? So let's go and sim the play for a little bit. We're gonna do a simulation, let it go for like 10 seconds or so, and then sim show. Okay, so Cot wins 52%, equity is 27. So the equity difference became a little bit smaller here. It's only like 6.5 or 7 after you sim, as opposed to 15, right? So exchange OQ does have merit to it, obviously. But what if you're given the position that your opponent exchanged to, you don't know what it is, and then you do an inference? Let's do an inference. If he was so good, he would have known that Joel just put 2 U's back, so he has a chance of drawing for his Q. So that's a good point. So this inference tells you what are the most likely things to have happened if you are faced with an opponent who just exchanged 2 letters. So it tells you the S and the blank are the most likely tiles. EI and RT are more than chance, and then all of these letters are very unlikely to have kept. So you don't keep the J or the Q, right, on the exchange too. Yeah, I know, it's kind of ridiculous, but okay. So now we can infer this. See the details. You can actually see a little more. Infer details, and then you see that the blank shows up almost 5 times, or 5% of the time, as opposed to 2%, which you would expect from the distribution on the board. The Z is less than chance because you probably would just play the Z or something. Okay, so now let's do a help sim. What if we were to use these inferences in your simulation? Now we're gonna do sim, use inferences, cycle. We're gonna cycle through all the inferences. I think there's 1,270 inferences, so we can cycle through them and inject different letters in there. And then we're gonna stop when we're 99% sure that we have the winning play. Oh, damn it. Okay, ignore that. I forgot. I should have recompiled the code. Okay, look at that. The simulation ends in that was 3 seconds. Now we show the winning play, and it's exchange OQ. See, so that's what I'm saying. Nigel Richards was able to do this. So, and I didn't even build this until literally today or yesterday. Yet Nigel foresaw this 5 years ago. Yeah, he did this in his head. So that's why I think that he is the greatest player ever. Now we can finally look at his genius and examine it. I actually, when I did this, I did not think this was going to win. I was I saw the difference. I was 15 points of equity. There's no way it's going to catch up. But it just barely does. And actually, convincingly enough, that it's actually within the margin of error. So, it didn't. So these are plays that were cut off by the automatic stopping condition. They weren't considered for further simulations. But, these two are still close enough that actually it is within the 99% margin of error. But OQ still wins. So that's what I wanted to show you guys. I was so excited that I had to stream now. I did a little workout and had to come back and do some streaming. So Yeah, so what are the plans for this? Okay, so first of all, this is open source code. I'm gonna push this out. Actually, I think it's already pushed out. So anybody, if you know how to compile, if you know how to run it, you can do this with your own games. But I'm gonna make this a bot. So we're gonna put a bot on Woogles. I don't want to say that it's gonna happen tomorrow, but it will happen soon because I have like a lot of the infrastructure for it already. And the bot's gonna do sims inferences. I'm gonna do some experiments. So I'm gonna see like how much a simming plus inference bot beats hasty bot. So I was able to run some experiments with simming without inferences. Simming without inferences beats hasty bot like 60% of the time. And that includes like an end game too. So the end game definitely accounts for a couple of percent, I think. But imagine we had like hasty bot's already giving people a lot of trouble. So imagine we had a bot that can beat that 60% of the time. I think we can add another 5% to if we do inferences, but I don't know what the number is. So I'm very curious. I'm gonna set up some experiments, hopefully like tonight or tomorrow night, like just on my computer, leave it running overnight, and then see what the win rate is with inferences. I think it'll be pretty good. And then I'm gonna set up a bot, and then I'm gonna add this to the analysis. So the Woogles analyzer, you know how you can like set plays and analyze them. I'm gonna add a little button that can just do this automatic simulation with inferencing, and then tell you what the best plays are. And it can also solve end games and all that. So that's going to be the idea.